Welcome to the second in the series of me lately, Wupe lately, and here is like just an opportunity to read a page out of my diary. Basically, it's like I am voice video journaling what's been going on with me lately, and today is super special, bittersweet even. We wrapped up Speak Life September today. Unfortunately, I couldn't go on a hike like the other community members did in South Africa, and I'm sure I saw one other individual who is Zambian on the Speak Life September only today, and I didn't know. Now I'm like, it's late, we can't journey together, but I thought about reaching out, but I didn't. What's been going on with me lately? Yeah, the last time I was here, I think I was talking about how we were just starting Speak Life September. Unfortunately, I didn't go back on that video to see what was going on with me then, but I remember I wasn't in such a great space. I know that for sure. But today, I'm just so happy to say that I am actually quite happy, and it's been a long time coming. It's been a really long time coming with all the work that has had to go into getting me here. And September was a month that I did a lot of reflection on the goals that I had set starting January until now, and I did it differently this year. I'm gonna set my goals this year for next year so that January we can hit the ground running. And I used September to reflect a lot on what I had achieved, what I had not achieved, what was the hold back. And I'm really glad that the Speak Life September course came at a time it did, because the first module taught us self-awareness, and it was really powerful in that sometimes we're going around doing stuff and it's not from a place where you know yourself well or what purpose it is serving. And I was just so glad. And the story that stuck with me is how Mpumi explained when Nathaniel asked, can anything good come out of Nazareth? And Jesus was just about to begin his ministry, and someone questioned him in that sense. And if he was not self-aware, it would have been a time for him to give up and say, you know what, I can't do this. You know, the environment is not set. And in just thinking about the ministry of Jesus Christ among us in the world, there were so many things, so many times he would have given up, how he was tested, how he was questioned, up to the point of his death when his friends abandoned him, but he saw it through. And it was such a big thing to think about for me, because there's so many times and so many people I interact with who have given up on their dreams because of something someone said, or because they went through a relationship in which they were broken before and they have decided love is not real and it's not for me, so I'm not going to try that. Because they failed so much at school, they decide maybe that's not for me, you know. And so just the power of self-awareness, of knowing who you are. We also looked at goal setting, but purpose-led goal setting. I thought it tied in well into that self-awareness thing, because who are you? When you know who you are, you know why you are here. And if you are like me, it took some time to figure out like what's my thing. And if we're being honest, I haven't even exactly gotten there, but I feel like now I align a bit more with, since I know who I am and these are my values and these are my beliefs, if I show up here to make a video, it's because it aligns with who I am and where I want to go, even if I don't know fully what that picture looks like. But because now I'm aware of my values, now I'm fully aware of my beliefs, then I follow those 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 small steps that lead you, because it is truly authentic to who I am. And why I say this is because I studied law, so there's a certain expectation by a lot of people, and a lot of times it's not like they're doing it deliberately, and oftentimes they're not even aware of it. They're like, oh, so when are you going to set up a law firm? And I'm not saying I never will. I'm just saying right now, never, right? I don't know if that will change, but there's a certain expectation of, oh, because you studied law, therefore you should set up a law firm. But right now my interests are nowhere near a law firm. And because I'm such a strategy-oriented person, I even thought, there was a time before I was honest with myself, where I had a strategy of where this law firm would be, who would the clients would be, who would I attract, right? And it would have been good, but in this season that would not align with who I am and where I want to go. And yeah, another thing we looked at, because it was the healing edition, we leaned into a lot of our triggers. As you know, I have shared with you, like since about May, June-ish, I got tired of dealing with like a certain level of brokenness in myself. And I think God had gotten to a place with me where it was like, we can't move into the next level if we don't address, maybe not a brokenness, but this unresolved issue that you have. And it's been June, July, August, September, and like the last 4-5 months where I've had to sit in the pain and name it and tame it. And it's been messy, it's been beautiful, it's been insane, but just the letting go of certain burdens that I had in talking to professionals, in talking to friends, and just being honest about where I was at. It's been good. Sorry, it seems like I'm whispering. Moses is sleeping, and I didn't want to wake him with my loudness. I tend to be very loud generally, and yeah, so it's really been good. And then the last module was on, it was so powerful, on tools, unique tools to carry on like this transformational journey, on this healing journey. And Mpumi referred to the book The Light We Carry, and if you remember, that was like my first read of 2023, and it was that book, becoming didn't really stick with me. Okay, I loved their love story, everything else not so much. For me, it was just like, I always tell you guys that I believe that books are a spiritual thing, and sometimes maybe it's just that one chapter that's for you. It's not always that the entire book is for you. And I believe for Becoming, it was just a story. It was their love story I was drawn to. And I think it was around the time we were getting married, Moses and I, when he bought me that as a Christmas gift. And so maybe that's why I was drawn to the love story, because I was preparing for the marriage, and so I guess that might be why. But the other parts didn't really stick, as well as and it's a pretty amazing book too, Becoming, right, about her career path, mothering, the navigation, getting into the White House. It's powerful. It's just that what stood out in the book for me was their journey and their love story. But for The Light We Carry, because what she does is she shares the tools that have helped her navigate life, and the tools that she continues to go back to in her toolbox to navigate. And Pumi used that as well to ask, what are your unique tools? And if you don't have any, what can you put in your toolbox to help you along your journey? And what was really amazing for me is realizing that I actually already have a toolbox. And I'll share with you what's in my toolbox. Definitely the support system that I have had. I've shared with you before here how I failed terribly, but having my mom, my dad, my family, now my husband as well, and friends, those are the people that carry me. So when I'm in a season like this, I can always go back to them and say, this is what's going on with me. So the two of relationships is a big one for me. The two of books, that's another two in my toolbox. As you know, we already have the Mindpreneur Book Club, and I reading had been like therapy for me, learning other people's stories, learning other people's ways of navigating life. So books. And the third one, which should have been number one, is my faith, books, friendships, and other relationships, and my marriage, and and gratitude. As you know, it's just, you know what, when I buy proper equipment, then I can do that thing where, you know, you have footage, where you insert footage of my gratitude box. It's right there. It's a Paris box, because obviously I have dreams of Paris and I want to go there. So I have a box, and it's got like things from as far back as, I don't know, 2012, 2008, I don't know, of gratitude. And gratitude is such a big tool for me. And also recently, something I added to my toolbox is the gift of rest. This year I learned that my health is important, and so I try to rest. I try to enjoy some downtime. If some days I come home and I'm like, look, if the house is burning, let it burn. Mama's tired and there's nothing she can do and she needs to rest. So those are some of the tools, and do share with me in the comments what some of your tools are. And another thing that happened during Speak Life, well, before Speak Life in August, is out of the blue, my knee started to hurt in August, and I ignored the pain for some time. I'm like, okay, it's a discomfort I'm feeling. Maybe I just, had a little accident and maybe I hurt my leg like that. And I thought it would go away. July, in fact, I think July. I stuck with it through August and September, because for Speak Life, we had to like walk either 10,000 steps, or you do exercise and that sort of thing. I noticed that it was weighing heavy on me and I couldn't, so I said, you know what, let me go and have it checked. So I went to the doctor. There was nothing in my blood work, nothing to show any arthritis or any gout or anything, nothing. They did the x-ray, nothing there as well. So I was given like medicine to take for 2 weeks to see what that was. Nothing. The pain was still there. So the doctor said, anyway, let's do physio. So I went to physio, and we had added, and there's one session where we had, and the bummer was, then I was told during treatment of my knee that I couldn't exercise anymore. And I love the walks and the jogs, and I couldn't do them anymore. And something I learned to do is, in this last season, is to show myself grace. I'm one of those people, when I'm pushing something, I push really hard. So something I've been having to learn is to listen to my body, and if we're not okay, we'll sit it out. We can still journal. We can still do acts of kindness. We can still be grateful. We can do so many things. We can hydrate. We can have a rainbow plate. And something I was deliberate about Speak Life September this year was to create a lifestyle rather than do a challenge. And it's amazing that, there's certain habits I have built. Like in January, so we do the Daniel fast in January as we're beginning the year, committing our plans to the Lord and everything we've set out to do. And because we cut down sugar, so after the Daniel fast in January, I said, instead of me just going back to my normal spoons of sugar, I'm gonna cut it down from 3 teaspoons to 1 or 1.5. So by the time we're getting to September, my sugar taste had already reduced. And even when I completely cut it out, this month of September that we're ending today, I wasn't too stressed about it. Even now, coming to the end of it, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I'm not craving sugar. So that's a big deal. Another thing I had been doing after we had sat down with Dr. Eliplias on the Sunday Lives on the Munyumba Mutwale page is he talked about the dangers of salt. So just as a first step, this month I had cut out putting any added salt. I would only eat what's already in my food. And my son made popcorn and he had added salt to it and it was so bitter. I was like, and then if you know me, you know I love salt, but it's just those little things where I'm like, I'm trying to create a healthy lifestyle for myself and it's so good. So anyway, back to my leg. Yeah, so I went into physio. My leg is still in pain. That's I wish I had like a wonderful story to tell you that, you know, the leg is fine, but it's not fine. And I feel like it slowed me down. There's only so much I can do because when you look at me, I'm sort of walking normally still, but I'm experiencing a lot of discomfort with my leg. But that's okay. This is the season and we'll figure it out. So I've been booked in to see the specialist again for my legs. He's a bone specialist. I don't know if he will refer me to another specialist. But yeah, and so that's my leg. But just getting to a place where I am self-aware. Like I started off the month wanting peace and just understanding in the most practical sense of the word that peace is not the absence of turmoil. It's a lot will be going on around me. A lot is going on around me, but just coming to that place, you know, in my heart where it's like, okay, we're okay, you know, and we're okay, and we will be okay. So yeah, it's September has been beautiful. September has been wonderful. I've had to make some really challenging choices that I'm just like, I want to go back on, but I don't want to do it. I changed my mind. But I know that if I delay pleasure, it will reward. I enjoyed September because I'm so fully aware of gratitude, and it's been good for Moses and I as well, and we've come through a challenging season, and it's just, you know, being able to settle back into it beautifully, just seeing some growth in the union. It's yeah, it's been, September has been a good month. Okay, September has been a really, really good month, and I am happy. It's been challenging in its own way, but it's been beautiful overall to see that where I had wanted to invest in my relational goals, I invested in that. In my spiritual goals, I invested in that. In fighting procrastination, there's still one more promise I haven't fulfilled that I had made to someone that I am yet to. But honestly, I did choose to take care of myself first because I want to learn to give from the overflow and not just to deplete myself. So for instance, anyway, I don't need to say what the promise is. All I'm saying is I'm learning to give from the overflow. And so if I feel like my cup is not full, then unfortunately I have nothing to give. And when it overflows, then I can give. And so that's what I'm doing. And right now I feel like my cup is full. And I just want us to get to an overflow with it so that I can go out. I think I have some clarity of what I can do in planning the rest of the year to try and finish strong and to plan for 2024. So I have 3 whole months to plan for 2024. I'm excited. I think for October I have 1 speaking engagement, 1 new collaboration. You don't want to miss that. Mzambandu Malali and I will be sitting down for like different types of content just to help believers with the basics of financial literacy. So excited about that because I belong to a Christian community, and there's a big gap in what believers can earn, or even if they don't earn a lot, how they can use that money as stewards and use it well, not just for their own livelihoods, but also to leave a legacy. And I think that's what it's about. Even Jesus came and left us a legacy that we're living out now. So I'm very excited about that. I'm excited about October. I will be doing my first one-on-one sit-downs with members of the book club, but perhaps I could open it up to everyone as well. I'll be doing one-on-one check-ins to hear from the book club members how they have fared through the year, what have they achieved, and just listening. I want to know how they are, where they want to go, and what they're planning for 2024 and what they have learned. So if that's something you would like, check my Facebook page, The Mindpreneur, and WhatsApp me, and we could arrange a 30-minute call for that checking. Okay, I have to go. Husband is awake. Let me attend to him. We haven't been together all afternoon. I just want to thank you for spending the time to hear about Wupe lately. What have you been up to lately? I hope you reach out for those check-in calls so that we can talk. Until the next time, this has been your friend Wupe, the Mindpreneur. I love you. I hope you share. Bye.